most of our and statements are going to look like this. And this is what I meant. They were going to have two inequality symbols in them. This is considered to be that triple. So I'm going to draw two lines down, which is a little abnormal. We've not really done this before. But what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we're still going to solve for x. And if we're going to solve for x, we need to get rid of this plus 5. And the way we do that is by subtracting 5. Now, normally we just do that to both sides of the inequality or equation. But there's actually two different problems here. Let's see if I can highlight it. One of them says x plus 5 is less than 2. And another one says negative 3 is less than x plus 5. So I actually have two problems here. So I'm going to just solve them all at the same time by subtracting 5 on all three parts. So we end up getting negative 8. Keep my sign. I didn't divide or multiply by a negative on both sides. Is less than x. Keep my sign. Less than or equal to negative 3. We can go ahead and graph this on our number line. I'm going to just go ahead and use two different colors. And then my final solution, I will adjust by highlighting the answer. So I'm going to say that I'm going to use x is greater than negative 8. So I'm going to have an open dot on negative 8, and I would shade to the right. Notice how my variable isn't on the left-hand side as normal. So I can't go with which way the arrow is pointing, so don't shade to the left because my variable wasn't on the left-hand side. We actually need to read it as greater than negative 8. The other one says x is less than or equal to, so colored in dot on negative 3, less than is this direction. Where are they both shaded? Well, my actual solution is right here. What I'll do is I'll redraw a quick graph for you of the real solution. We'd have a colored in dot here, open dot, and we'd be shaded in between. This is a typical and graph. There will be the numbers on either side with the shading in between them. Another example, let's go ahead and draw those lines down. We've got another triple. This is another and statement. We're going to solve this as normal, so we would get rid of the plus 2 first, and we would do that by subtracting 2. Normally just to one side and the other, but we have three parts on these triples. So we're going to do it on all three parts. This gives me negative 3, less than 3x, less than 6. Well, I'll divide by 3 everywhere. I'm dividing by a positive 3, so I'm not going to be flipping the sign. I get negative 1 is less than x, less than 2. So we'll go ahead and create that number line. We're going to put 2 and negative 1 on the number line. This one says that x is greater than negative 1. Remember, our variable is not on the left-hand side here, so we actually have to think opposite. So it's x is greater than negative 1. Greater than negative 1 would be this direction. This says x is less than 2, so I'd have an open dot on 2, and I'd be shading to the left. Now my actual solution is where they're both shaded because that's fit both cases. It's an and statement. It's greater than negative 1 and less than 2. So I'll go ahead and create my final answer graph right here. I have negative 1 and 2. I have open dot on 2 and an open dot on negative 1. And notice where it's shaded between those two.